Have you ever heard of a love so strong it cheats death itself? This is the strange and haunting tale of the Golden Hairpin. In the northern city of Sendai, two samurai, Hasunuma and Saito, celebrated the birth of their children on the very same day. Hasunuma had a beautiful daughter, Ko, and Saito had a son, Konojo. To seal their friendship, they arranged for their infant children to be married one day. As a symbol of this promise, Saito gave Hasunuma a precious family heirloom, an ornate golden hairpin. It was to be a token of the bond between Konojo and Ko. But fate had other plans. A few months later, Saito fell out of favor with his feudal lord and was forced to leave Sendai with his family, vanishing without a trace. 17 years passed. Ko, now a young woman of breathtaking beauty, remained faithful to her childhood betrothal. She turned away countless suitors, her heart belonging to a fiancé she had never met and hadn't heard from in over 16 years. She waited and waited, but Konojo never came. This unending silent vigil took its toll. Ko's longing slowly turned into a deep sickness, and with a heavy heart, she eventually passed away, her love story seemingly ending in tragedy. On the day of her funeral, as her mother prepared her for her final rest, she gently placed the golden hairpin into Ko's hair. "Dearest daughter," she whispered, "this is the token from your betrothed, Konojo. May it bind your souls in death, as it would have in life." With this final, heartbreaking gesture, they laid her to rest, believing the young lovers were perhaps destined to meet only in the afterlife. But the story doesn't end there. Just 2 months later, a young man arrived at Hasunuma's door. It was Konojo, now a handsome 18-year-old, come to finally claim his bride. When Hasunuma broke the devastating news of Ko's death, Konojo was heartbroken. He explained the tragedy that had befallen his own family, how they had moved to the island of Yezo, lost their fortune, and how both his parents had died in poverty. He had worked tirelessly just to earn enough money to make the journey back to Sendai and honor his father's promise. Moved by the young man's loyalty and his tragic story, the old samurai felt a deep sympathy. He saw that Konojo was as much a victim of fate as his own daughter. "You have been faithful," Hasunuma said. "My daughter longed for your return. Her soul will rejoice to know you came back for her." He invited Konojo to live with them as an adopted son, offering him a small house in the garden. Konojo gratefully accepted, becoming part of the household. A few weeks later, the Hasunuma family went to a religious ceremony, leaving Konojo to watch over the house. As they returned at dusk, Konojo stood at the gate to greet them. As the palanquin carrying Oke, Ko's younger and equally beautiful sister, passed by, he heard a faint metallic clink on the ground. After they had gone inside, he picked it up. It was a golden hairpin. Thinking it must belong to Oke, he put it aside and returned to his small house for the night. But just as he was about to sleep, he heard a soft knock at his door. "Who's there?" he called out. Silence. He dismissed it as the wind. But then, a louder, more insistent knock followed. Annoyed, Konojo lit a lamp and opened the door, ready to chase away a prankster or an animal. Standing in the darkness was a vision of female beauty unlike any he had ever seen. "Who are you?" he asked, stunned. "I am Oke, Ko's younger sister," she replied, her voice soft but direct. "I have seen you many times, and I have fallen madly in love with you. I dropped my golden hairpin tonight as an excuse to come to you. You must love me in return, or I will die." Konojo was shocked and horrified. To entertain the daughter of his generous host in the middle of the night was a profound betrayal. He firmly refused her, but the girl's response was chilling. "If you will not love me," she threatened, "I will tell my father that you lured me here and then insulted me. You will be disgraced." Trapped and fearing the ruin of his honor, Konojo reluctantly gave in. And so began a secret affair. Night after night, the girl visited him. And despite the circumstances, Konojo found himself genuinely falling in love with the passionate and beautiful Oke. After a month of these secret meetings, Konojo could no longer bear the deceit. "My dearest Kei," he said one evening, "this secrecy is wrong. Let us run away together. We can go to Ishinomaki, where a loyal servant of my father lives." Oke readily agreed. That very night they packed a few belongings and fled Sendai under the cover of darkness. For a year, they lived happily with Kinzo, the old family servant. But eventually a sense of guilt began to weigh on them. "We should return to my parents," Oke suggested one day. "Surely their anger has softened by now. They must worry about me." Agreeing, they made the journey back to Sendai. As they approached the samurai's house, Konojo felt a knot of anxiety tighten in his stomach. Oke gave him the golden hairpin. "If they are angry," she said, "show them this." Taking a deep breath, Konojo went to the door and asked to see Hasunuma. To his surprise, the old samurai greeted him with warmth. "My dear boy, I'm so glad to see you. You are always welcome here." Confused, Konojo began to confess. "Sir, I have come to beg for forgiveness for my sin." He then recounted the entire story of his affair with Oke and their elopement. Hasunuma's expression shifted from warmth to confusion, then to anger. "Do not mock me, sir. My daughter Oke is no subject for such a tale. For over a year she has been gravely ill, unable to speak or even leave her bed." "I am not lying," Konojo insisted. "She is waiting at the gate right now." A servant was sent to check, but he returned saying there was no one there. Seeing the samurai's growing fury, Konojo desperately pulled out the golden hairpin. "If you doubt me, look. Oke gave me this to show you." At that moment, Oke's mother cried out in shock. "How did you get that pin? I myself placed it in Ko's coffin before she was buried." As the three of them stood there in stunned silence, the door slid open. In walked Oke, perfectly healthy, beautifully dressed, as if she had never been sick a day in her life. "How is this possible?" her father stammered. The girl smiled, but her voice was not Oke's. It was the voice of his first daughter. "I am not Oke," she said, "but the spirit of Oko. My soul could not find peace, for I died before you returned, Konojo. I borrowed my sister's body to live the life with you that we were denied. Now, my spirit is content." She turned to Konojo. "But there is one final condition. You must promise to marry my sister, okay? Only then will my spirit truly rest, and only then will she be fully healed." Stunned, they all agreed. The spirit of Oko reached out her hand to Konojo. "This is the last time you will touch the hand of Oko. Farewell." And with that, she collapsed, seemingly lifeless. For a long, tense half-hour, she lay still. Then she stirred. Her eyes opened and she sat up, looking around in confusion. It was Oke, truly herself again. "Father, Mother, why am I down here? I feel wonderful." She had no memory of anything that had happened. A week later, Konojo and Oke were married. The golden hairpin, the catalyst for this strange and ghostly love story, was donated to a shrine, where it was worshipped for many years as a symbol of a love that even death could not conquer. Thank you for listening to this incredible story. If you enjoyed this journey into Japanese folklore, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales from around the world. We'll see you next time.